the 5th day of February, the year 2018. Nice to have you aboard here as we begin a day of broadcasting on the great SiriusXM 82, Mad Dog Unleashed, on this busy afternoon with Eddie Erickson. Colin Spelling's back, a couple days off, relaxed, took it easy. Joined us late last week. It's good to have him back aboard. Bill Zimmerman in the house. Steve Torrey put you to sleep for a couple, and I'll see if I can liven you up. I'm kidding, Steve. You did a wonderful job. I'll see if I can liven you up in the next couple here with what we can dissect as far as Super Bowl 52 is concerned. As we chat to you, 888 Mad Dog 6 is your two-way sports talk telephone number. Well, there's one word that sums it up. I mean, and it sums it up, I think, for both teams. I mean, I was thinking about it last night. And you know what the word is? Finally. Finally, the Eagles, 50-something years. It's the ironic thing that it's not Wentz, but finally they won a championship. And finally, the Patriots, we can sit here after a bad loss. Or not a bad loss, but a loss. Finally, the Patriots didn't get the breaks, didn't get the calls, put themselves in too big a hole and got beat. And finally, the Eagles, as a franchise that, has been to two previous Super Bowls, has been star-crossed, and the last team in the NFC East to win a title, Giants and, of course, Dallas and the Redskins have multiple. Finally, they have won a championship. And I think that's the key word, really, when you think about what occurred here yesterday in 52, is, the Patriots, if anything, could have easily won the game, and the Eagles definitely could have lost the game. But if you're playing these games enough times, and that's 8 now, and you are in a situation where you play it, the margin of error is tight, as it is for the Patriots in these games. We all know about how they don't blow people out. And the Eagles, just law of averages are due to win a championship. It has been 60 years. Well, you put it all together and play here, play there, a whistle here, a whistle there, no overturn here, no overturn there, and you have 41-33 for Philadelphia. That to me, this is not a game that we are going to sit here now, and it's unfortunate. We'll get days out of it. I'll make it get days out of it. But this is not a game that we are going to sit here like we did, of course, with Pete Carroll, like we did with Dan Quinn. This is Peyton Manning when he collapsed against the Saints. This is not a game that we are going to sit here and analyze and nitpick on a day in, day out basis for the next whatever it might be. This is not the case. There's not a ton of controversy in this game. We'll do a little Malcolm Butler, I get it. But there's not a ton of Malcolm Butler in this. Outside of that, there's not a ton going on here. All right? This game could have gone either way. Philadelphia, for the most part, had its head in front for 55 of the 60 minutes. They probably deserved to win, but they could have lost. And I don't know where the major controversy is unless you're going to sit there and tell me that Belichick benched Butler to the detriment of the team, but he's got his reasons, and he's Bill Belichick, and he can do what he wants. He is the greatest coach in this era, maybe of all time, and if Bill Belichick wants to sit Malcolm Butler for other reason, who are you and I to sit there and say anything different? He's allowed to. So all there is to it, he can get away with it. So from that perspective, I don't know. Brady threw for 501 yards. Evan made a big deal this morning that he misconnected a couple times in the first half. That he missed Gronkowski open down a seam route. So that's what we're going to sit there and scream about. Bottom line is 33-32 Patriots, fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. That's all you need to know. 4th and 3 Philadelphia. That is all you need to know. There's nothing else to say. They make a stop on that one play, something they don't do, but they make a stop on one play, and they're going to win the game. And they're probably going to win the game 41-33, and they're going to cover. Or 40-32, whatever it is, and they're going to cover. Simple. That's because then they're not going to go down and score the Eagles, and that's going to be that. That is essentially, and they may have even gone for 2 to put the Eagles in a situation where they couldn't tie the game up with a 2-point conversion. That is the game. You could sit there and you can debate this, and Collinsworth can go to the telestrator for 9 hours, as he made sure he did with the play at the end of the half. My goodness gracious, a 1-yard pass play got dissected like you wouldn't believe. You can do that until the cows come home. Bottom line is the game was won with 5 minutes to go on 4th and 3. That's the play you got to dissect. That's the football game. That was the spot where New England, really had to stop them and put this game on ice. And if they did stop them there, the game is over. Because 6 minutes to go, Patriot ball inside the 50 with a lead, they are not losing. As simple as that. That game is over. Simple. They are not losing the game. They would either run out to 6 minutes, which they're adept at. They'd either go down and score the touchdown and then just kick the extra point and then make a play defensively in the last possession, or to do anything just to tick us all off, go down, score the touchdown, up 7, and then kick the 2, and then go for the 2 and put the game away. Either way, the game is over. That plays the game. Simple. You could sit there and talk about the 2 plays all you want. On the touchdowns, we'll get to that. You could sit there and talk again about the quarterbacks, one guy who caught the ball, one guy who didn't. You can spend hours upon that. You could talk about the 2 touchdowns. You could do anything you want. That plays the football game. Case closed. And finally, New England didn't make a play. And finally, the Eagles, A, did, and B, won a championship. Simple. Now, I don't know if we need 1 million people going down City Hall, climbing up lampposts and drinking their eyes out and setting cars on fire, but that's the Philadelphia sports fan, and that's what gets him in trouble compared to other areas of the country. That's what gets him in trouble. That young sports fan who thinks he's big, who thinks he's a hot shot, and, wants to celebrate angsts and years of angst with that franchise, who's 24 years of age, who couldn't tell you Chuck Bednarik from North Van Brocklin. That's the problem. But we'll get to that. That's for another day as well. Finally, the Patriots didn't get a break. I'm not so wrapped up on the Eagles winning. It doesn't mean that much to me one way or the other. I don't have any animosity at all towards the team, the quarterback, the coach, the owner, nothing. The fans antagonize me and get me a little annoyed. But other than that, give them a chance. I don't have any problems with that whatsoever. To me, the finally is more about New England. But I'm smart enough to realize that they won their championship, and most of the calls that you're going to hear in the next 3 or 4 days are going to be the Eagle fan. I can die in peace. You can write that. The New England fan, there are not as many of them, number one, but the New England fan's not going to call. It's the Eagle fan who's going to call. Finally. That's the key word. Finally. And I think the crazy thing about this whole thing is the Eagle fan who right now, again, wants to march down to City Hall like to see Washington being introduced as the first president of the United States. Go watch that. It's fun. And it wasn't Philly when they did that. They want to go down there and they want to march like GW's about to say hello from his perch. But the Eagle fan who is doing that today, and I can show you the sound cuts. Halftime Raiders, Week 16, booed Foles and booed the Eagles off the field loudly. Just to get you annoyed. You think I'm going to be happy? 11 after. I am happy. I had the Eagles. So there you go. 11 after the hour. We continue here on Mad Dog Unleashed.